we're going to start playing with unconscious symbols. Everything that you do has meaning, has purpose. Even the most random acts or events that people do or reactions you get has some kind of purpose. It's driven by the unconscious. There's nothing truly random inside human beings. It's always driven by something. Have you ever noticed how dreams, if you sit down and start, has anyone ever done like dream analysis type things? I'm not talking about like you get your dream dictionary and says, this is a house, therefore I am gay. Nothing like that. Nothing like that. I'm talking, yeah. It's true. It's nothing like that. What we're talking about is each thing in your dream has a meaning for you. And usually it's multiple layers of meaning. We talked about this idea of associations before. So the funny thing is, or the cool thing is, whenever you get a spontaneous symbol, an unconscious symbol, it's a message from your unconscious mind. It becomes something meaningful when you find the meaning within it. Does that kind of make sense? Specifically so, when you actually set the frame that a meaningful symbol will come out. Then it really has meaning because the unconscious goes, all right, I guess that's what he expects, so that's better what he gets. Does that kind of make sense to you guys? So now that we know how to root around inside the mind, how about we start getting information that's not just useful in terms of finding out where they're at, but actually useful in terms of resolving actual problems. So you're not just rooting around inside the mind, you're doing a spring clean at the same time. That'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it? The first thing to realize is that the unconscious mind is creative, you know? Anyone ever plan their dreams? Yeah, that's nice, I like that. In terms of lucid dreaming, you decide what dream you have. But normally, you know, do you know what dreams you're going to get? If you don't do anything, do you have to just actually work out like, oh my God, I'm not going to dream tonight. I didn't have time to actually create the whole plot and the outline and characters, and I guess I'm not going to dream tonight, right? That doesn't happen. If you don't actually do anything, you're going to get plenty of goodies up there anyway, because that's how your mind functions. It can't help but come out with stuff. Here's an example of what I mean. I've got a box here, Paul. I'm pulling something out. What is this? A rabbit. Oh, that's nice. So I'm putting it back in. What's this? Oh, I've got a lot. I'm going to drop that one. I'm going on this side. Okay, what's this? Camera. Where did all that come from? Did it come from me? No, I have no idea what you guys were coming up with. But this is what happens. When you put your unconscious mind on the line and go, okay, this is it, something comes out. And it's a symbolism, unconscious symbolism. So how about we start playing with those symbols to create new realities? So now this time, they're creating the realities that change them, rather than you having to do all the work. Wouldn't that be kind of cool? Would that be kind of interesting? So we're going to do a little exercise to start off with. Everyone's going, We're going to do a little exercise to start off with to get you used to the mindset and to realize how easy this really is. It's not technically a hypnotic exercise, although it could be. I call it the strange new world. So you're going to take in a moment a partner, and you're going to spin them around a few times just to get their critical factor thinking about balance rather than other things. So now that they're spun, they close their eyes, they're spun around a few times, they're going, oh, okay, I'm about to be sick, please stop. They open their eyes, and then they're going to imagine, pretend, think about being in a place that they've never been to, that has never existed before, and they're about to describe it to you. Here's an example. Okay, I'm in a cave with a stalagmite, whatever thing coming down here. It looks like a throat. Actually, the cave walls are beginning to crush together, although there's an ocean coming in here. Behind me over there, there's a tunnel that leads off, which I'm going to go and have a look at. And it's diamond encrusted all the way through, and the diamonds are kind of shining with a kind of a light that's coming in from the inside. Down there, it's like a lip, and there's a green pool. It's like it's really like a light coming in from the underneath the pool, shining out. Are you there with me? Now, believe it or not, so stay calm, the fungi will start wearing off soon. But all I'm doing is, rather than censoring, analyzing, thinking about it, I'm allowing my unconscious to present a reality to me, and I'm just describing it. That's it, right? Now, remember the brain state you were in yesterday when we talked the whole language stuff, where you had to stand right on the edge and go like, oh, I'm about to fall off. You'll be in a very similar brain state doing this, but it's very good for you. It's healthy for your brain. So, do you get the idea of the exercise? You're going to take someone, spin them once or twice, or maybe shake them around a little bit, slap them, kick them, with their eyes closed so no one knows who it is. When you've had your fun, let's stop them, let them open their eyes, and as soon as their eyes open, as soon as your eyes open as the person there, Your role is just to basically describe the scene. As the coach, the person who's doing the spinning and the kicking, your job is to keep them true. If they take too long thinking about something or get blocked in some way, ask a question like, what's that over there? Or what's this? Quick, what is it? Like, of course it is. Put it right back in the wall. Okay? So you see how I'm pushing a little bit because I don't want his intellect, I don't want his conscious mind answering. I need to put pressure on to get a genuine unconscious response. Does that make sense? So do you understand the exercise? It's like 5 minutes apiece. You'll only be able to do like probably 1 a minute at a time and then switch roles because it does take a little bit of effort. So do a minute and when you get tired, switch roles and then switch back again. So you get about 3 or 4 goes at this if you want. We're going to do this for about 5 to 10 minutes and then we'll come back and we'll see how we can set it up for an actual hypnotic exercise. Does that sound like something decent to do? Okay, find a new partner, off you go. And more importantly, it prepares your mind. You notice how easy it is when you don't think? It's kind of weird. All your life you're taught how to think, and now I'm trying to undo all that. The point here is, when people are in hypnosis, they have to experience something similar to what you have. It's gentler in trance, because there's less critical factor wanting to interfere, but you're still trying to create the same thing. So did anyone here notice that they had to coach their client a little bit, to prod them a bit because they were thinking too hard or getting a little bit too much into their thoughts? Yeah? So if you did have to do that, you've just learned what to do with your clients if the critical factor starts interfering too much. You can speed up and prod them, you can confuse them, you can redirect their attention. See where we're going with this? So you're basically taking control of the experience, but it's still their experience, which is a nice thing. They create the experience and you direct it. So you have a nice coordination effort going on there. Any comments or questions on what you experienced there?
So once I went to Hypnotist to be regressed, and it was a similar kind of thing. They said, like, click my fingers, where are you, and stuff like that. And I was constantly aware that she was like pushing me to go faster and faster. So I wasn't always sure whether it was as I said it was, or whether I was being prompted for an answer.
Bring this idea back again when we talk about regressions, because we'll address that specifically then. And it's a very good, should we say, question mark to bring up. It's a very good question mark to bring up. Anyone else? Because otherwise we're just going to head off into a break. Go ahead.
Just a comment. Is that on?
Yeah.
Just a comment. This is very much like Wim Wenger's Einstein principle.
Yes.
And I was also going to point out, when we were talking about self-hypnosis, I find that the easiest way for me to go into self-hypnosis is to talk to myself out loud and take myself down.
So he's referring to something called image streaming, or I think they call it the Einstein process now. I don't know what they call it anymore. And I personally don't think he's invented it, but he's actually he's hit on the fact, which is true, that all your internal imagery, hypnagogic, hypnopompic, daydream, etc., is generated by your unconscious, so it has meaning. If you start asking your imagery something, well, the change in the imagery is the answer to it, and then you just have to figure out how to work with that. And that's exactly what we'll be doing after this break.